Okay, so class, we're looking at network analysis, or we'll call it network model. Okay, I think we should just start with some short notes. So the first thing you want to know is network. So we said that I just want to give a short note. Network is a graphical representation of all the activities and events arranged, okay, in a logical and sequential order. Okay, in a logical and sequential order. Okay, so are we there? So now, class, we said that network is basically graphical representation of all the activities, an event arranged in a logical and sequential order. Okay. Is anybody having challenges logging in? If you can, please let me sort them out. If anybody is having any issue. Okay. So let's go there. So basically, okay, network analysis plays an important role in project management. Take note of that. Now, a project is a combination of interrelated activities all of which interrelated activities, all of which must be executed, okay, in a certain order, okay, for its completion. So understanding this matters a lot. Okay, so we say that network model plays an important role role in project management. Okay, so let's go there. So class, let me quickly explain some few things here. Okay, you see, once a project is selected, once a project is chosen, okay, or is agreed upon to be to be executed, the focus will shift. Once a project is selected, or once a project is chosen or is agreed upon, the focus is shifted to its implementation. Now, this actually involves, completion of numerous activities. Once we now know that, okay, a project has been chosen or a project has been agreed upon, the next thing we want to do is to implement the project. Now, in implementing the project, it actually involves the completion of numerous activities. Now, those numerous activities are basically the project components or the component of project. Okay, by employing various resources. The resources could be manpower, it could be machine, money, time, energy, and so on and so forth. Okay, now, class, take note of this. The reason why we actually employ these various resources is so that a project on paper, a planned project on paper can easily be translated into a concrete reality. Because if you just have a project, okay, you need that project to be executed from planned project, from project on paper, to projects on ground. So class, the activities of a project have interrelationship. They are interrelated. Okay, they are interrelated. If you start one, okay, the other one may depend on the first one you just started. If you have to hold on to one, okay, the next one you're supposed to do has to be held on to. So sometimes they're interrelated. Most of the time they're interrelated. One phase has to be completed before the other phase continues. Sometimes you could work simultaneously, like you could do 3 to 4 phases together simultaneously on a particular project. And for a particular phase to be carried out or to be implemented, okay, one phase that is very prerequisite, 1 or 2 phases that is very, very prerequisite has to be, implemented. So we say that for proper planning, okay, scheduling and controlling of the activities, plays a major role. Okay, so for you to be able to understand network model or network analysis, you need to understand basically, okay, this little concept. Okay, so class, it is also very important that we understand that, okay, by some financial institutions, work plan or network model has to be presented, for a feasible report. Okay, in order for us to understand network model, we need to understand what is called PERT and CPM. Now, class, PERT is Program Evaluation Review Technique, and CPM is Critical Path Method. Okay, let me just say a few things, little thing about PERT, P-E-R-T. Okay, it was actually designed, it was originally designed, by this US government, okay, basically, okay, to schedule the Polaris fleet of ballistic missile projects of the US government. Now, class, why was it designed? It was actually designed to undo risks and uncertainty. So PERT is actually eminent and is actually suitable for research and development, especially for project development. Now, CPM on the other end, okay, was actually developed independently on its own, independently on its own, okay, by also a US company, basically to solve industrial problems. So class, CPM is primarily concerned with trade-off between cost and time. So in your network analysis and your network model, okay, they will ask you to find critical parts, method network or critical parts network, okay, or the network model itself. And sometimes they will ask you to find the critical parts, okay, by first of all looking at the earliest starting time, okay, and the latest completion time as well. All of this matters a lot in understanding network model. Please, if you have any issue with questions, kindly ask. So now, class, there are a few things I need to quickly point our attention to. The first one is this. Some questions we need to ask ourselves. How long will the entire project take to be completed? So what are the risks involved? What are the critical activities or tasks in this particular project that could delay the entire project if they were not completed on time? Okay. The next one is, okay, ask yourself, is the project on schedule? Is it actually behind schedule? Is it actually ahead of schedule? Okay. Also, if the project has to be finished earlier than planned, okay, if the project has to be finished earlier than planned, the question is, what is the best way to actually carry out in order to achieve the least cost? Okay, these are the few questions that we ask ourselves. Now, class, also, the common characteristics of the above projects, okay, that make them a little bit amendable to analysis by CPM and PERT are: one, the project can actually be broken down into a well-defined set of jobs or activities. The activities must be performed in a certain sequence, which is actually technically in a technical order. And also, this project has to be carried out within a defined sequence, okay, which actually shows that the activities may be started, it could be stopped in an independent manner. Remember that some activities are dependent, whereas some activities are not dependent. Now, the activities that are dependent activities are activities that will not start until the other one has started. Okay? Independent activity does not depend on anyone. It can actually start on its own. Okay? So please take note of all these basic things concerning PERT and CPM. Now, also, let me quickly add this, very importantly. Understanding CPM means that first, you need to be able to define the project and then also list out the significant activities or tasks to be carried out. Okay, so ask yourself, these projects, are they made up of different tasks, or what are the tasks involved in them? Okay, should the project have only single start activity, or should it actually have a single finish activity? Ask yourself, okay, how do we develop relationship among the activities? So in that way, you need to decide which activities must precede and which activity must follow others. For instance, now, the question we want to solve tonight, we need to know, okay, which activities precede, or we can call it predecessor, or that actually comes before, and which activity succeeds, that is, that comes after. So this is very, very important, okay? Then, number next, very importantly, you draw the network. The network here is the CPM. You draw the network that is connecting all the activities, okay? Take note of this. Each activity you are drawing or you are connecting should have unique event numbers, okay? And sometimes, most of the time, you use what we call dummy arrows. Okay, we use something like this, dummy arrows. We use dummy arrow, excuse me, we use dummy arrow to actually to show or to give signs, okay, to the direction of the project activity. Now, also, we assign time or cost estimate to each activity. Sometimes a question can give you duration in months, and sometimes it could be cost, okay? And also, we compute the longest time path through the network. Now, class, the longest time path through the network is called the critical path. Please hold on. Okay, so take note of this. The longest time path through the network is called the critical path. Okay, and so class, we use this network in order for us to plan, to schedule, to monitor, and also to control a project. Okay, now the key concept in critical paths method network is that a small set of activities which make up the longest path through the activity network control the entire project. Let me say that again. Okay. A small set of activities which make up the longest path through the activity network controls the entire project. Now, class, if this small set of activities, okay, are critical activities, they could be easily identified and assigned to actually management resources, responsible person who could actually optimize them. Very importantly, understanding critical path is very, very important. Now, another part I want to say is this. Now, there's also what we call a non-critical activities. We have critical activities, we have non-critical activities. Sometimes a question could ask you to calculate the free time and the float time. Okay, this could actually be calculated through the non-critical parts. We have the critical parts, we have the non-critical parts in the network model. So understand that. So non-critical activities can actually be replanned. It can be rescheduled. Okay, take note of that, for them to be reallocated for the purpose of flexibility without affecting the whole project. Okay, the bullet point I want to give before we solve question. There are 5 in number. Number 1, is this a start activity? Ask yourself, is this a finish activity? What activity precedes this? So before you put a dummy arrow, before you actually start writing, before you start drawing the network part, ask yourself, which activity comes first? Which activity is starting first? Which one is finished? So in other words, some people call it starting nodes and finishing nodes, or some people call it starting and stopping nodes. Okay, let me quickly write that here so that you can see. So why some people call it start activity, okay, some call it starting nodes, okay, some call it starting nodes or starting points. Okay. Now we have finished activity. Finish activity. So some call it, okay, stopped activity. Stop activity. Okay. So call it ending notes. So take note of this. Now, so next, ask yourself, what activity precedes? What activity okay, precedes this? Okay, ask what activity follows this? Okay, and then the last one, ask yourself what activity is concurrent with this. Okay, because the truth is some activities are serially linked, and we're going to be seeing that very soon. Okay, take note of this. The second activity can begin only after the first activity is completed. So when we don't say activities are linked, for instance, you have A, B, and C. Then you have BD, you have CD, E. And you know that, okay, before you can proceed to CD, okay, B must have been completed before C and D activity commences. So these are serially linked activities. So we said some activities are serially linked, because the second activity or the third activity may have to begin only after the first or second activity has actually been completed. So in some certain cases, the activity are actually concurrent, okay, because they are actually independent of each other. Take note of it and can start simultaneously. Let me quickly give you, let me give you that here. Okay. Note, some activities are serially linked. Okay, are serially linked. The second activity or third, the second activity can only begin only after the first, only after the first activity is completed. Okay, and in some certain sense, okay, in addition, some activities are concurrent because they are independent. They are independent of each other. They're independent of each other and can start simultaneously. And can start simultaneously. So class, this is actually important. We have some independent events and then we have some dependent events. Okay, so let's look at this question. What I'm going to do, just like I said, I want to try to break down network analysis. So from there, we're going to understand, okay, different phases, the earliest, then the latest. Okay, what is called, if you hear forward pass, backward pass, or you hear forward method, backward method, okay? How do they relate to earliest time and then to latest completion time? So this is very important. So let's go ahead to start working. Then I'm going to give us the rules of network construction. So this question says that, I've sent it to us already. Now, this question is a little bit complex. So once you're able to solve this, we are going to go to analyze any network analysis. Okay, so class. So let's take a look at this together. Now, these are the activities A to N. We have these activities A to N. Then we have immediate predecessor. That is the activity that comes before. Okay. Then you have duration. In this case, you have duration in months. So let me explain something like this. Let me explain something here. If you see something like this, A, B, nothing comes before B. This dash, nothing comes before C. Okay. Now, B comes before D. That means D is an offshoot of B. In other words, activity B has to be completed before D starts. In other words, activity D will start when B has ended. So when B has been completed, D starts. Now, so this is actually the point I want to bring at it. That's why I say a little bit complex, but please pay attention. B, look up. Once you see, okay, this activity comes after this. This comes after this. This comes after this. This comes after this. So I have to say, okay, so there is B here. There's another B here. Oh, okay. So does that make this B an independent? Oh, because see, this starts where B ends. Oh, activity G also starts where B ends. What is that telling here? Very, very importantly, we have D to actually begins after B has ended. We also have G to start when B has actually ended. Now come to H. You can see H comes when C and D must have been completed. I follows when C and D must have been completed. When you see C and D, C, D, or any alphabet, it means that both the same notes, they must actually end at the ending point. Remember that for every dummy arrow, we have the starting activity, we have the finishing activity. So every arrow, okay, every dummy arrow has the starting node, it has the finishing node. Okay, so this is what I'm trying to explain here. So for the purpose of this class, okay, I don't know if they taught you with nodes, but because I want to break this down, for the purpose of this class, I'm going to use nodes to explain. Now, this is node 1, this is 1, this is 2. Okay, maybe in your class or a lecturer may not put anything here. They may just leave it blank and leave this place blank. Okay, now this is starting node. This is finishing node. Let's say this activity is activity A. And let's say the duration, I'm just assuming, let's say the duration is 10 months. Okay, so remember, this is node A, This is the starting node. This is the ending node. This is the starting point. This is the finishing point. So when they now give you activity with B after A has been completed, let's say this is now B. B also we have an ending node. This will now serve as a starting node for B, and this will become an ending node for B. So this can actually be B, and then let's say this is 4 months. Okay, so every arrow, every activity has starting point and ending point, has the starting node and the ending node. So if you draw an arrow, put circle at the beginning, put circle at the end, put the activity, put the duration. You can put it beside, you can put it below. Anyhow you want to do it, just make sure that you put the duration or the course or the time, okay, against the activity. Okay, I hope you are following. This is very, very important. This is crucial. Now, I haven't said that. Another thing I want to quickly point out is this. When you are drawing, somebody was asking me this some time ago. He said, essay, if you're doing network analysis, can I just say A after A? Okay, I'm looking for B, C, D. Okay, we have A, B, C, D follow each other, B, A, A. Okay, now that, okay, this is D, okay, B, D is not following, E is following A. Can I just come to where I have J and E? I said, no, don't do it like that. If you are doing network analysis, you will take it from once A has been done, move to B, move to C, then you move to D, move to E, move to F, move to G. If you do it like that, everybody will have the same network framework. Okay? Your network model cannot change. It's going to be the same. If you follow, if you don't jump from B to D, okay, let's continue, please. So Ibukun's arrow, let's say we have activities A. This is A. This is Ibukun's arrow. Martin's arrow can be like this. Okay, you can see that Martin's arrow, I don't know if this is my network. Okay, network glitch. The network is bad. Please, guys, I just want you guys to please manage. The network is bad everywhere. So please, let's just manage it. Okay, I'm switching between two networks now. Okay, between two networks as we speak. The other one has even packed up. It's not even seeing any back. So Martin's arrow can be like this. Okay, and let's say Temitope's arrow can be like this. Temitope's arrow can just be like this. Can you see? Now, this arrow is not compulsory, it must be the same. Okay, but definitely you will be on the same path. Take note of this. Very, very importantly. Then another thing I want to say is this. It's also not compulsory that if this one comes like this, that Temitope's own will also come like, Temitope's own can come like this. Okay? Somebody's else's own can come like this. So it doesn't mean that you are wrong, but definitely you will get to the same direction. Okay? So please take note of this. This is very important. So now let's continue. Another point I want to quickly make is this. Class. This means that C and D, okay, are the predecessor of H. C and D must happen before H. C and D must happen before I. Then E has to happen before J. Then F, G, H have to happen before K. F, G, H have to happen before L. Then I has to happen before M. Then J and K have to happen before N. Now, the third point, essay, all this C and D, this one that joined together, how do we deal with it? Class, C and D means that they must come, they must follow each other. Okay? If you have something like this C and D, it means that these activities must follow each other immediately. It means that they must be completed first before you proceed to start H. C and D must be completed first before you proceed to start I. In other words, C and D have the same nodes, have the same ending points. Okay? Lastly, C and D, take note of this. C and D must be completed. But take note of this. We have B. D is an offshoot of B, and G is an offshoot of B. But there is D here. Take note of that, class. There is D here. So we know that before B happens, ABC must have happened. But before D happens, C must happen. However, but C has happened before. So, but for D to happen, B must first happen. So now let's take it step by step. Now let's go there. So let's go there. So let's start with A, B, C. Remember, nothing comes before them. Okay, these are independent activities. So let's start. Okay, so we have. Okay, let's start this. So we start. Put your paper. You can make your paper this way. Landscape. Okay. So let's go there. Now, the first activity, the first three activity, nothing comes before them. Nothing precedes them. So let's start with that. So we have A, B, and C. Nothing comes before them. So we have this. So this is okay, class, this is A. This is A. This is activity B. And then, okay, this is activity C. Okay. Now, class, please pay attention to this. Remember, like I said, I'm going to teach you with nodes. So let's call this node 1. In your class, they may not put anything here, but I'm doing this just to make you understand very well. Let's call this node 1. Let's call this node 3. Let's call this node 4. This is the starting point of A. This is the ending point of A. So let's go and attach the duration. Okay, we have 2 for A, 5 for B, and 4 for C. So we have 2, 5, 4. So we have 2, we have 5. This is activity C. We have 4. Now, the next thing you need to do is this. Ask yourself, class. Okay, D starts. This means that D will start where B ends. That means B precede D. That means B comes before D. Okay, take note of that. B comes before D. Now, if B comes before D, what do we do? Before, take note of this class, before you try to sketch anything, don't be in a haste. Ask yourself, go back and ask yourself, okay, there is B, which must be completed before D. Then we now have CD. You have CD, but you have BD. BD must start from where B ends. H must start from C and D. But before D is completed, C must have been completed. So you have C and D. That means C and D must tend towards the same direction. They must end in the same node. They point towards the same direction. Where C is putting head is where D is putting head. They must actually face the same, they must meet at the same point. See what I'm trying to say here? We have C here. We have C here. This is A, this is B, this is C. This is C. Okay? But you have B. Okay, you have B, and D is to start where B ends. But you have C and D here. So that means that, take a look at it. So somebody may want to say, okay, maybe it is D. Let me take my D this way. No, you can't take your D this way. Okay, let me be using this for just to be making illustration. You cannot take your D. You know, this is your B, which is 5. Okay, this is node 3. You can't take your D this way. Your D cannot be this way. You know why? Because the activities, the immediate activities, the immediate activity that precede D is B. Okay, and C must happen before D. So, meaning that if I have to sketch my arrow, okay, my arrow won't go this way. It must come where C is. Okay, this B must come to where I have my C. Okay, so that we have C and D. So in other words, we are trying to say here that the nodes here to be from, this will be from node 3 to node 4, meaning from B to D. So this will be our D. Okay, and our D, what's the duration for D? The duration for D, okay, the duration for D is 5. Duration for D, check the activities and check duration is 5. Okay, so this is 5. Okay, so you can see that C and D, okay, point towards the same direction, okay, which actually node 4. Okay, can you see that? The next one, we have actually done this. We've done this. Okay, we've done this. Now, let's go to E. That means E must start where A ends. Okay, E must start where A ends. So ask yourself, where is the starting point of A? This is the starting point of A. This is the end point of A. And E must start where A ends. This means that, let me write this for you. This means that E starts where A ends. That's what this means. Okay, so E starts. This is the starting point of A, the ending point of A. So E starts where A ends. A ends here. So E starts from here. So I have this. So this is another node. Remember, this is node 1, node 2, node 3, node 4. Okay, so definitely this will be node 5. So here, class, this is E. And what is the duration for E? Is 7. So we have 7. Okay, going back again, ask yourself, oh, F starts where A ends. F starts where A ends. So I also go back to the ending point of A. Oh, this is the ending point of A. And F should start where A ends. So I have something like this. Remember, I can take it like this. I can take it this way. I can take it this way. Okay. So I have something like this. So this is node 6. Okay. Let me put the arrow. Okay. This is node 6. This is F. What is the duration for F? The duration for F is 3. So you put the 3 there. Okay, so let's go there. The next one. So we are done with activity E. We are done with activity F. Okay. Next, ask yourself, G starts where B ends. G will start where B ends. So ask yourself, what is the starting point of B? The starting point of B is 1, node 1. What is the ending point of B? That's why I'm using node. What is the ending point of B? Is node 3. So, and G will start. G will start where B ends. But before then, ask yourself, check again. Okay. Is there any other place that G occurs? So check if G occurs any other place. Oh, G occurs here. Can you see? Oh, G also occurs here. Okay, that means G is not an independent activity. D is actually a dependent activity. It doesn't happen on its own. Before G must happen, F must happen. Before G must happen, F must happen. So G is not an independent activity. So check very well. So before you draw an arrow, come and ask yourself, okay, does G appear elsewhere? Yes, it appears here. It appears here. So that will guide me on how my arrow should go. So I'll ask myself, okay, before I actually sketch my G from B, I will ask myself, okay, F must happen before G. Okay, so I asked, so let's go there. So if B is if 3, node 3 is the ending point of B, then G has to start here. Okay, and take note that this is F. Remember that this is F, and F must happen. Please pay attention to this. This is F. F has already happened. All right. F has already happened, which is this. F has already taken place. Now, from here, F has taken place already. G is about to take place, but G is starting from B. So if G is starting from B, where are we taking the nodes to? Where are we taking the arrow to? We have to take the arrow to where you have node 6. Okay, so here, I'll take the arrow to where I have node 6. Okay, so this is G. You can see this is G. And what is the activity for G? The activity is 3. So the activity duration is 3. So we have F, we have G. Okay, so F has happened, F has taken place, G has taken place. F has taken place, G has taken place. So we have H and H. But before you come here, come and answer this now. So we have FGH. FGH. FGH means that they must have the same nodes. All of them must follow this activity follows each other immediately. They happen as this is happening, this happen together. Okay, so they take their nodes from the same points. So here now, let's go to H. H starts where C and D, activity C and D must have ended. So this C and D precede H. This must have happened before this happened. So I'll go to where I have C and D. Oh, this is C and D. I have my C and D here. Please pay note attention. We have C and D here. And C and D, okay, has happened, they must precede H. So if they must precede H, okay, where is it going to? Class, where is it going to? Because H also occurs here. That means FGH must have the same node. So we take it from C and D, then we take it to where we have FG, okay, and H. So sorry for my, okay. Okay, so this is H. Class, this is H. And what is the activity duration? The activity duration is 6. Okay, the activity duration is 6. Okay, so let me put this here. So this is the node. Okay, this is 6. Now, the next activity we want to talk about here is I. I also, okay, comes after C and D. After C and D must happen, I must also happen. So in that case, so this, my I can take my I this way. Somebody can go this way, it's still the same. Okay, I may choose to also go this way. Okay, so I have, this is the ending point, this is I. And then what's the duration point for I? The duration point for I is 2. So we have 2 here. And then this is node what? This is node 7. That's node 7. So we'll go again. So I has been sorted. We go to J. Okay. E precedes J. That is, A must have happened before J happened. So you can see E has already happened. So E precedes J. So from here, okay, I have my J. Okay, I have my J. So which is node 8. So this is J. Okay, what is the activity duration for J? Is 5. Okay, what's the next thing? Then we'll go there again. Then we'll ask ourselves, okay, J has been sorted. K comes after FGH activities must have taken place. So K, let's look at K. So K must take the nodes from here. This must also start from here. Okay, K starts from FGH, L starts from FGH. This is what it means. Okay, so K starts from F. This is FGH. So K must start from FGH. So let's go there. So K start from FGH. But before then, let me quickly check. Okay, K must start from FGH. Does K appears elsewhere? Yes, K appears here. So K is not an independent activity. K is a dependent activity. Okay, you can see from here, L doesn't appear anywhere else. M doesn't appear anywhere else. N doesn't appear anywhere else. Anytime you see any activity that they don't appear after you have taken care of this, and then you check this, you know, when you took care of K, K is still here. K is not an independent activity, so it cannot be a terminal activity. There are activities that we call them terminal activity or ending activity. Okay, so K still appears here. It cannot be a dependent activity, and it cannot be a terminal activity. So K is not a terminal activity. Check L here. Do we see any L here? No. L is a terminal activity. Take a look at M. Do we see M here? No. M is a terminal activity. Okay, take a look at N. Do we see any N here? No. N is a terminal activity. L, M, N are terminal activity. Take note of that. L, M, N are terminal activity. Why? Because they do not appear, or they are not immediate predecessor for any other activity. They are not. You see, K is a predecessor. JK is a predecessor for N. FGH is a predecessor for K. Okay, see where we have H here. But this H is a predecessor for L, is a predecessor for K. So it cannot be a terminal activity. You can't use it to end your network model. But LMN can be used to end the network model. So let's continue. So let's go and look at K and L. They both must take their starting point from where this ends. So let's go there. So K, so I have my K this way. Before I draw my K, remember that JK, remember, look at it, JK must have the same nodes. So if I'm to take my K here, should I take my K straight or I should take it up? I should take my K up because they must have the same nodes. Okay, so this is K. JK must have the same nodes. So what is K? Activity K is 4. So this is sorted. Now L, let's look at L. Remember, now let's look at L. Very, very important. Now L also comes from FGH. So L is an offshoot of LGH, FGH. So this is L. So let's call this is, okay, this is L. This is node 9. Okay, what is the duration for L? Is 3. Now, since L is dependent, it is not the predecessor for any activity. L becomes a terminal activity. Okay, take note. It becomes a terminal activity. We'll call them an ending activity. M is an ending activity. So here, M must happen after I must have happened. So now, please, this point is very, very important. M happens after I must have happened. So M starts where I end. So you will not ask yourself, so should my M be this way? Should it just be this way? Should it just come this way? Should it come this way? No, because L is a terminal or ending activity. Your I goes to what? To node 9. So this is M. This is M. Okay, what is M? 12. Okay, so M goes to what? To the terminal activity, which is node 9. Then the last but not the least, N. N happens after JK must happen. That means I am going to draw my N from what? JK. So I'll come to where we have JK. This is JK. I'll draw my N. And remember, my N is also what? A terminal activity. So they will come here to what? They will come to the terminal activity. So here. So this is my N. And then the duration is 8. Okay. So like I said, this is actually the network diagram, or we'll call it the network model. Okay. So if they ask us to find the critical path method network, so this is the CPM network. This is your CPM network. Now, the other part I want us to pay focus attention to tonight is actually critical path. Okay, at this point, let me give room for questioning. It's very important. Let me take questions. Okay, sorry. So this immediate predecessor means that activity that must have happened before this one happens. Okay, so in the case of A, there was no activity, so it's dash. In the case of B, there was no activity, it's dash. God bless you too, Lukman Raji. In the case of activity C, there was no immediate. That means that no activity comes before A, B, and C. no So how do I start? Because I can, okay, in this case now, in this B, okay, but let's go there. So we have, let's take it from here, from the middle. So this is the starting point activity. So no activity come before A. Let's start that one now. So in that case, okay, no activity come before them. So this is the starting point, starting node. Three of them must have their ending node. Ending node for B, ending node for C. Remember, this is A. The duration, you look at the duration, you trace activity, look at the duration, this is 2. Please, so these numbers, they are not inside the middle, they are the one for the activity. Duration is 2. B, duration is 5. C, duration is 4. So we have B, we have 5. C, we have 4. Okay, so now let's go there. So remember I said I may not put 1, 2, 3, okay, in the nodes, but take note, this is the starting node. This is the ending node, ending node, ending node. So for A, this is starting node for A, ending node for A. Starting node for A, ending node for starting node for B, ending node for B. Starting node for C, ending node for C. So these are all ending node, meaning that if any activity is to begin from A, you now start from here. So this is ending point. Okay, now let's go there. So we are done with ABC. Now let's go there. Now, wasn't I recording before? Oh, sorry, please. Okay, let me quickly rush through that again. So I said ABC, excuse me, ABC, okay, have this. There were no predecessors before A. This is the starting node for A, ending node for A, starting node for B, ending node for B, starting node for B, C, ending node for C, starting activity, ending. So you can see, so these are end points, starting point, because nothing come before them. So you start like this. So I now said that this duration is meant for the main activity, is not for the one inside the middle. So we are done with ABC. Now let's go to the part that may be a little bit confusing. So there's now activities D. Class, this one means that this activity D must start from activity B, meaning that if I want to start activity B, this is where I will start from. This circle is where I will start from. Okay, activity D will start from this circle. But before you start, hold on a second. Go through it. Come here and go through it. Though there is D here. Oh, there's another thing. Before D go happen, something activity must have happened. C is not an independent activity. It does not, it's not an activity that happens on its own. It's an activity that must start after another activity must have completed. 2 activities must have happened. 1 must happen, C must happen, B must happen, C must happen. Before D can happen, B must happen, C must happen. But take a look at now C and D. For you to have C and D, it means that C and D will have the same nodes. meaning that C and D, hold on, please. Let me show you something. If this is activity C and this is activity D, both of them must point towards the same direction. They must point towards the same end. Okay? They must point towards the same end. This is the node. They must be pointing towards the same end. You know that C will point this side, but D will point this side. But before C and D must happen, B must have happened. But in our network diagram, B has already happened. C has already happened. Okay? But now we need C and D. And for C and D must to happen, it means the C and D must face each other. C and D must happen immediately. Okay? So in that case, so since D is an offshoot of B, since D must start after B must have ended, so I will start my D from here. So the question is this: should I take my D this side? Should I take it this side? Should I take it this side or should I take it this side? No, I will take it this side because it must end towards where C has ended. So my D will come towards like this. Please pay attention now. So this is my D. So this is D. And what is the activity? What is the activity duration for the D? It's 5. So this is 5. I put 5 here. So you can see C and D must happen, okay, towards from B. You can see before D happens, B must happen, C must happen, and C and D must have the same ending node. C and D must have the same ending node. Okay, so that's why you see C and D have the same ending node. They point toward the same direction. So having done that, we'll go again. So we are done with A, tick B, tick C, tick D, remaining E. E should happen after A must have been completed. So E should start where A ends. Yeah, come here, ask yourself, where is the ending point of A? Is here. This is ending point of B, ending point of C, starting point of A, B, and C. So since E must start after A must have ended, that means E will start from this ending point of A. This is the ending point of A, and now the starting point of E. Okay, so it go this way. So I can choose to go this way. So please pay attention now. So go this way. So I have this. Remember, I'm not putting nodes now. Now, this is the starting point of E, but the ending point of A. So what is the activity duration? Activity duration for E is 7. So put 7 there. Okay. Next, let's go again. E must have happened. Okay. Okay, in fact, I didn't even tell you, class, okay, that, okay, when you check E here, we're supposed to check again whether E occurs somewhere. Yes, you can see E occurs. So E also is not a dependent, it's not an independent, is a dependent, activity, because E must happen because before J happens. So E does not occur anywhere again, but we have taken E from A. F will start from A. But before that, take a look at it. Does F occur elsewhere? F. Oh, there's F here. F is not dependent activity. Oh, there's another F here. F is not dependent activity, meaning that F, G, and H happen simultaneously. F, G, and H happen simultaneously. So since F appears elsewhere, it is not a dependent activity. So in that case, I'll come here and say, okay, fine. F starts where A ends. So A ends here, right? And F must also start. So let's go there. So I can take this way. So this is another ending node. So this is my F. Then what is the duration? Duration for F is 3. Okay. So now let's go there. The next one is G. Okay. Does G appear elsewhere again? Yes. So this is actually dependent activity. So B must start where B ends. So you can see FGH, FGH, FGH. Okay, they must have the same node. They must have, what do I mean by saying they must have the same node? All of them must point toward the same direction. F, G, and H, they must point toward the same direction. You cannot miss it once you understand these things. Okay, when they say C and D, it doesn't mean that C will be somewhere, D will be in Kafansha. C and D, they will look at themselves, each other, will be seeing them like this. So FGH must see each other face to face. The activities that must happen concurrently. So here now, G is an offshoot from B. So I'll go to B. So B, okay, I'll take from B, I'll go here because I'm going to have my G here. So you can see this is my G. And what is the duration for G? Duration for G is also 3. Okay, next, I'll look H. H, is there H here as well? Yes. So H is actually dependent activity. So you can see now, H must happen after C and D must have become. So where do you have C and D? Where do we have C and D? Oh, C and D is here. So that means that my H will start from the ending point of C and D. So that means that my H will start here. Where is it going to? It's going to where we have F, G, and H. So it goes here. Okay. Like I said, if you understand this thing, you don't need to cram. Okay. So you can see, so this is my H. So what is the activity duration for H? Is 6. So you can see, I took H from C and D. I took H from C and D. My arrow from H will proceed from C and D. My arrow from I will proceed from C and D. So take a look, this is C and D. So my arrow my I arrow will proceed from what? This is C and D. So can you see? This is C and D. So this is another terminal point. So this is my I. Okay. What is the duration point for I? Is 2. Next. Okay, next is, so we've done I. Let's look at J. J must proceed from E. Does J appear elsewhere? Yes, J appears here. So J is actually dependent activity. So take a look at that. So if you take a look at K, K also appears there. So they are both dependent activity, meaning that J and K must face the same direction. So if I take E, if I take J from E, this is E now. This is E, okay? So J must start where E ends. J starts where E ends. So this is my J now, class. Can you see? This is my J. Am I correct? This is my J. This is my J. Because the J is starting from where E ends. Okay? The J is starting from where E ends. That means that E must come before J. That is the meaning of predecessor. E must come before J. So E lo kọ́kọ́ ṣáájú kí J tó wáyé. E must come before J. So then what is the activity duration for J is what? Is 5. So you put 5 here. Oh yeah, Eka Wumi. Next one, K. K, before K happens, FGH must have happened. O mean pé FGH must come before K. So ewo nbo láti rí FGH lele. FGH lele. So it means that my K will come from FGH. So this activity will proceed from FGH. So if it is proceeding, before I make it longer, this activity K must end with J. This activity K must end with J. Somebody J wa, everybody by J wa. So K yi to fẹ́ J offshoot from FGH amagbeloba J. So this is it. It meets with J. So this is now our K. Both of them they face the same node. They have the same nodes. And what is the activity duration? Activity duration for K, it is 4. Okay. I hope I'm correct. Activity duration for K, okay, is 4. So class, it is 4. Okay. Now, I'm done with that. Let's go next. The next one is L. Does L occur again? It is well. Don't worry, guys. I want to promise you that this class is not just one class. This class is not just one class because Catherine was asking question like backward and forward. That one I'm going to take it tonight, but it's long ago. But please bear with me because I don't know the question will come out tomorrow. It's long, but bear with me. But you're going to understand it. But I promise to take this class like 2 times again. Okay. So L, does it occur anywhere else? No, it doesn't occur anywhere else. So L is a terminal. So Adeshago, can you see? L is a terminal event, is a terminal activity. There are some, oh my goodness, I saw your past questions. Please practice after I'm done with this. Practice that questions and send it to me. I also solve it and send to you. But please practice it. Some part of the question says terminal. When you see that some events are terminal, or some activities are terminal activities, Tebari terminal activities, Tebatiri terminal activities. Every other activities must end at that particular activity. Every other activity, okay, towards the end must end at that particular terminal activity. So you can have 2, 3 letters that are terminal activities. The last ending point, all terminal activity goes towards that ending point. Okay, so let's take note of that. So L is a terminal activity. You can see that L does not occur elsewhere. It's a terminal activity. M, does it occur elsewhere? No. N, does it occur elsewhere? No. K, does it occur? Yes. K is not terminal. J, does it occur elsewhere? Yes. J is not terminal. I, does it occur elsewhere? Yes. I is not terminal. H, does it occur elsewhere? Yes. H is not terminal. G, does it occur elsewhere? Yes. G is not terminal. F, does it occur elsewhere? Yes. F is not terminal. E, does it occur elsewhere? Yes. E is not terminal. D, does it occur elsewhere? Yes. It's not terminal. C, does it occur elsewhere? Yes. It's not terminal. B, does it occur elsewhere? Yes. It's not terminal. A, does it occur elsewhere? Yes. It's not terminal. So come to N. Does it occur elsewhere? No. Terminal point. M, terminal. N, terminal. So from here, this will be your terminal activities. L and LMN are called ending points activity or terminal activity of critical model. So in that case now, so I want to do, I've done IRB, I've done K, I've done K. Now let's go and do L. So L is taken from FGH. So L, so you can see, so FGH, so this is FGH, so this is my L. So this is my terminal, this is my terminal point. So this is what? This is L. And what is duration point for L? L is 3. So L is 3. So then let's go there. The next one is M. M is an offshoot from where? I must have been finished before M. So this M, Tebama draw M, Edwa BT Iwa, Mboni Iwa, Ejakawalo. Can you see that baby by the Iwa? Ibi Balatimamu M, Amamolosibo, Amamolosibi, because this is terminal. You take it down here. So this is M. What is is 12. Cheripe, terminal Ibalamwa. L is terminal, M is terminal. All of our activity will now end here. So the last one is N. N is also terminal. N comes from J, Imboni JKW. Ejeka will be direction between JKW. Cheripe by JKW. That is JK is here. So I will now take my N. My arrow N will come from where I have JK. Comes to where? Comes to the terminal point. So this is it. So this is my N. What is a? So this is 8. This is it. Are we now cleared? So in this time around, I just showed you that it's not, you can use 1, 2, 3 nodes to understand it. Okay. So that if you want to explain to students find it very easier to understand. Okay. So now let's go there. So now this is done. Can we now do critical part? The question now asks us to, okay, find critical part. God bless you too, Mr. Lainka. Critical part. Let's now find critical part. Please bear with me. I will take your time a little bit. Critical part. How do we find critical parts? Okay, so I'm going to give us some short notes to understand critical parts. Please understand it. Please bear with me. Please bear with me. Critical parts. In the network, okay, is the longest, is what longest part. I think I've given us something like this before. Okay, so how do we identify it? How do we identify critical parts? How do we identify it? So how do we identify critical parts? So let's go there. How do we identify critical parts? Please, this part is very important and it's a little bit tricky. So I want you to give me 100% attention. Oh yeah, let's go there. This part, this critical part, okay, can be identified simply simply by listing out, all the possible parts, from the start node, excuse me, of the project to the end node of the project, and then selecting the parts. Please pay attention to this part too. And then select the parts, and then select the parts, and then select the parts, okay, and then select the parts, and then select, okay, and then selecting the parts with the maximum sum of activity, times on that part. So now let's take a look at it now. The rules now. So I promise us I'm going to give us the rules. So this is now the point of the rules. So Catherine, now I'm about to answer your question. So let's look at the rules. So understanding the rules, we need to understand two phases that we need to know. Number one, determine the earliest start time. Okay, times of all the nodes, okay? This is called forward pass. We call this forward pass or method that Catherine was referring to. Okay. Number two is you determine the latest completion. Determine the latest completion times. Latest completion times, excuse me, LCT, okay, of various nodes. Okay, of various nodes. This is called, okay, the backward, okay, forward pass, or we'll call it backward pass. Excuse me. So class, take note of that. Now, let's go there. How do we now take a look at it? Let's look at the possible parts. First of all, let's go there. Let's look at the possible parts. Let's look at the possible parts. Okay, let's look at the possible parts. Oh yeah, ask yourself, first of all, ask yourself. Oh yeah, okay, now, so can you see, if I say starting point, you may not be able to say, but now if I turn like this and say, tell me the starting point, somebody can tell me the starting point is 1 and the ending point is what? Is 9. Starting point is 1, node 1, the ending point is node 9. Please take a look. Adeshagun asked a very good question. How do we know the terminal points, the terminal activities, and they all terminated at this point? Every project must have a terminal point. So here is our terminal node. So determine the starting node. The starting node is 1, the ending node is 9. So now let's discuss what are the possible parts. Please, the way I'm going to snap this note, okay, don't worry, since it's ready, since I'm writing it, okay, don't worry. It's just that I wanted us to, okay, don't worry, let's go there. So let me do it this way. Oh, yeah, let's go there. So what are the possible parts? So let's look at the possible parts all together. So I'll show you what to do. If you are using nodes, I'll tell you what to do. If you are not using nodes, like if you don't put any number, I'll also tell you what to do. Possibly that is what your lecturer may have done. Now let's go there. Oh yeah, possible parts. Oh yeah, possible parts. You can see 1, 3, 6 to 9. So we have 1, 3 possible parts from beginning to the end. Possible parts, okay, unknown, tá lè gbé gbà láti ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ títí dé òpin, from beginning to the end. Can you see from 1? This is one part. 1, 3, 6, 9. So we have 1, 3, 6, 9. That is one part. These are possible parts. What are the other possible parts? 1, 4, 6, 9. 1, 4. You know, we have done 1, 3, 6, 9. So we have 1, 4, 6, 9. So we have 1, 4, 6, 9. 1, 4, 6, 9. Oh yeah, let's go there again. Let's go there again. What are the other possible parts? Possible parts. Sorry. Possible part. Let's go there. Other possible parts. So let's go there. We have 1. We have done 1, 4, 6, 9. So let's go there. We have 1, 4, 7, 9. Can you see? 1, 4, 7, 9. Yes, that's also correct. 1, 4, 7. We have another one. So we've done 1, 3, 6, 9, 7, 9. We've exhausted this part. Let's go up. 1, 2, 6, 9. 1, 2, 6, 9. So we have 1, 2, 6, 9. Let's go to the other possible part. I think somebody gave it to us. Okay, correct. 1, 2, 5, 8, 9. That is very correct. That is very correct. We have 1, 2. Okay, let's go there. Let's exhaust this first. We have 1, 2, 6. Okay. We have 1, 2, 5, 8, 9. That's correct. So we have 1, 2. Thank you, Catherine. 1, 2, 5, 8, 9. Then we have 1, 2, 6, 8, 9. So we have 1, 2, 6, 8, 9. So let's say you did not use nodes. So instead of using 1, 2, so in your own case, 1, 1, 1, 3, 6, 9 would have just been BGL. So this would be BGL. The next one will be 1, 4, 6, 9. 1, 1, 4, 6, 9. CHL is 1, 4, 7, 9. 1, 4, 7, 9. CIM. We have CIM. 1, 2, 6, 9. 1, 2, 6, 9. AFL. So this would have been AFL. Then, if you are not using nodes, okay, 1479. Josephine said 1479. Let me see. 147. Yes, we have done 1479, Josephine. 1479. We've done it. Thank you. So 1, 2, 5, 8, 9. 1, 2, 5, 8, 9. Let's go there. So 1, 2, 5, 8. 1, 2, 5, 8, 9. So that will be AEJN. AEJN. So this will be AEJN. 1, 2, 6, 9 would have been 1, 2, 6, 9. 1, 2, 6, 8, 9. 1, 2, 6, 8, 9 would have been AFKN. 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 So all those things, maybe your supervisor is doing, or your lecturer is doing, this is how they get it. Do you understand? This is how you get it. So if you're not using 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 6, 9, you can use BGL. It's the same thing you're going to get. So these are the possible parts. Possible parts. After you have gotten these possible parts, formula. Let's go to the formula. So I said I want to break this thing down so that you understand it. What is the formula? The formula for, we want to first look at the earliest starting ST. So we have, okay, maximum value I. So we have ES I plus DIJ. Now, class, J, I stand for starting activity. J stand for ending activity. This stand for what? Starting activity. Starting activity. J stand for ending activity. Okay. We've done 1, 4, 6, 8, 9. So now let's go to class. Earliest start times. So this is earliest start times of ending activity is equal to the maximum of earliest start time of starting activity plus duration. So DIJ is duration. This is duration. So it can be duration, it can be time, it can be cost. So this is duration. Okay, follow me. If you are there, follow me. Let's do this together. So let's do this together. So I need to number this. Okay, I think I'm following. So let's do this together. Now let's go there. Come, Claire. Let's look at this together. Please, I'm sorry. I have to extend the class. Okay, it's for everybody's good. Now, class. Remember the formula. This is the formula. Let me bring it here. So we said ESJ is equal to maximum I. So we have ESI plus DIJ. You just need to know this to apply it to your notes. Now let's go there. Let's start with node 1. Take note of this, class. Take note. The earliest time. Okay, so I'm going to do this. The earliest time. So in maybe your lecturer or your coordinator may have done something like this, may have divided this like this, may have divided this like this, so that you understand something I'm about to talk about now, may have divided this like this. Now, this may be called earliest start time. This may be latest completion times. Earliest time, latest completion times. But I don't want to do it like this. I want you just to understand this. Once you now understand, you can now at this point, I will put box like this. I put in all the nodes, put a box like this. Okay, in all the nodes, put a box like this. You cannot miss it though. Not on my watch. Put a box like this on all the nodes. On all the nodes, put a box like this. Okay, just to understand, is this box that if they don't put anything here, they will just divide. Okay, here, okay, can just put a box here. Okay, here, put a box here. Okay, here, put a box here. If you're not in the class, I'm not sure you may understand this class. So, okay, so put a box here. Okay, for this, put a box here. Okay, for number 7, okay, put a box here as well. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Oh, sorry, please, let me quickly take water. Okay, let's continue. So class, notes. Let me note something for you. Notes. The earliest start. Okay. The earliest start time. Okay. For starting node. Or let me say for node 1. You know, this is node 1. The beginning point, you can say beginning point, is always 0. It's always 0. It's always 0. So in this case, so let's go there. Let's sort it out step by step. So for node 1, for this node 1, okay, we have node 1. Please follow me. You are not going to miss it. I promise you. Just follow me. Okay. Now for node 1, let's calculate the earliest time. For node 1, it's always 0. It's always 0. So earliest time for node 1 is always 0. Now for node 2, the earliest time for node 2, please pay attention. It will be the earliest start time. It will be the earliest start time for the previous activity plus the duration that precedes the activity. So let me explain now. Oh yeah, class. The duration time, the earliest start time for node 1 is only 0. So this is actually the lower part. The lower part is meant for earliest start time. The upper part is meant for latest completion time. So this one is 0. So your coordinator may have put 0 here for earliest start time, and then this one for this. But let's follow so that let's go there. So the earliest start time is 0. So if I want to get the earliest start time for node 2, it will be the earliest start time for this particular activity A plus the duration of activity A. So that means 0 plus 2 will give me 2. So let's go there to give me 2. Okay, can we see? Okay, class, are you following? Good. 0 plus 5 will give me 5. 0 plus 4 will give me 4. Please focus. Give me 4. Let's focus. So let's go there. Now, essay, are you sure this answer is correct? Essay, are you really sure this answer is correct? Essay, I'm not sure this answer is correct. Why? Because you do not take attention, you do not pay attention to the fact that how can you just say 0 plus 4 is 4? How about the node from 3 to D? Is it so? Because we have 0 to, we have, look at the parts that comes to 4. We have C to D, we have D, we have B to D, we have C to D. So can you see now? So we have node 1 to node 4. We have node 3 to node 4. So how can you just say 0 plus 4 give us 4? No, say no, that's wrong. We are looking at the maximum value. So 0 plus 4 is 4. How about 5? Okay, look at this class. How about this 5 here plus this 5? Is it not 10? 10 and 4, which one is maximum? We are going to consider the maximum. For the latest completion time, you look at the minimum value. But for the earliest time, which is, this is the forward, this is the backward. For the forward, look at maximum value. For the backward, look at the minimum value. So the one that gives us the maximum value is what we're going to pick. Remember, we said here is 0 plus 2 gives us 2. Because there is no other part that leads to this node. Is 0 plus 5 gives us 5. Because there's no other node part that leads to this part B. But here, before we get to this node, there's a part here, there's a part here. Which one gives us the maximum value? Is 0 plus 4 is 4. But 5 plus 5 is 10. So therefore, I'll choose the maximum value. I'll go for 10. So essay, that is correct. Let's go for the node 5. Where is node 5? We are done with node 1, node 2, node 3, node 4. Let's go to node 5. Node 5 will now be, I'll ask myself, node 5. Is there another activity that leads to this node? Okay, no, just from A to E. So it will be 2 plus 7 is 9. 2 plus 7 is 9. Okay, let's go to node 6. For node 6, how many activity leads to node 6? Oh, 2 to 3, 3 to 6, and then what? 4 to 6. Oh yeah, let's go there. 2 plus 3 is 5. Okay, I do not understand node 4. Let me go back to node 4. Okay. Please make the screen clearer. Okay, Josephine, I'm trying. Okay, I'm going to, like, you have the recording already. Okay, let's go back to node 4. Okay, you understood node, I mean, this to this point, this to this point. But we want to understand this one now. Remember that this node 4, there are 2 arrows. This one comes like this. This one comes like this. This arrow is C arrow, C activity in carry 4. This 3, node 3, now D activity in carry 5. So if I say 0 plus 4, now 4 now. But before I write them, I'll also check here. This 5, because for me to get this node, it will be the earliest starting time for this plus duration of this. 5 plus 5 is 10. So 10 is greater than 0 plus 4. which is give us 4. So write 10. So I'll now go to node 5. 2 A to E, node 2 to 5 is just one arrow. So add 2 to 7, it gives you 9. Let's go to node 6, to this node now. So we have A to F, B to G. Then we have what? We have C. Okay, we have C to what? To H, or we have D to H. But let's quickly take a look at this. Let's look at this now. Okay, this will be 2. Please know this 2. This 2 is node, though. The one inside circle is node. This is what you're looking for. 2 plus 3 is 5. So should I let's 5? I know that's 5. 5 plus 3 is 8. 5 plus 3 is 8. Then 10 plus 6 is 16. So which one is highest? 16 is the highest. Let me come again. 2 plus 3 is 5. Okay. Will I write 5? No. 5 plus 3 is 8. Will I write 8? No. 5, 10 plus 6 is 16. Which one is highest? 16. So I'll write 16 here. Then let's go there. Node 7. Where is node 7? Node 7. Node 7. So we have from 10, this node to this node is just one arrow. 10 plus 2 gives me 12. So let's go to node 8. Node 8. How many arrow points to node 8? So we have 2 arrows from 5 to 8. So we have 9 plus 5 is 14. But before I write 14, let me look at it. 16 plus 4 gives me 20. So 20 is higher than 18. So let me write 20. Sorry, 20 is higher than 14. The last list is 9. Okay, how many arrows point to 9? There are 3 arrows. Oh. Then we have 1, 20, 8 to 9 with them. 16 plus 3, 19. Don't write it yet. We have 28 and 19. Then let's go there. 12 plus 12, 24. Which one is greater? 28. Write 28. So we are done. So this is the forward pass. This is the forward method for earliest starting time. So we've done everything. Now let's go to the latest completion time. The latest completion time. Okay, at this point, do you have any question? Let me quickly ask us. Oh yeah, any question? Quickly. Any question? Please ask me question. I want you to ask question, please. Ask question, please. Ask question. Okay. Let me see the chat room. Please make the stream bolder. Please, I do not understand note 4. Okay, we have sorted this. Okay, in the absence of that, let's move on. Let's move on, please. So now we've done all of this. So class, I hope you knew how I got this. I have a question. Okay, Isaac, please go ahead. Let me unmute you, please. Oh yeah, go ahead, Isaac.
All right. I want to ask, must the critical part and our pass forward, must they give the same answer? Because from our critical part, I tried to follow what the lecturer gave using AEJN, AFKN like that. So I did the addition of those figures together to know which one is the critical part, to know which ended up giving me 28, and I have BDHKKN. So I'm asking that, must the critical part be the same answer with our pass forward?
Do you say pass forward?
Forward pass.
Yes, it's the same, because we are looking at possible parts. We are looking at possible parts. Possible parts. In order for us to get critical parts, you first of all need to obtain the possible parts. And in obtaining the possible parts, earliest earliest starting time, which is the forward pass, which is the backward pass. Forward pass and backward pass. Then you now use that to calculate critical paths. So critical path is not equal to what you got as 28. That is not critical path. So let's follow step by step. Okay, that's not critical path. Okay, I hope everybody, just like Isaac said, he followed exactly what I've been taught. Remember, I said you could use this. See now, BGL, CHL, CIM, AFL, blah, blah, blah. You still get the same answer. Okay, so now let's go there. So now, let's have the completion time. Okay, how do I get this? Okay, let me quickly show. Like 2 is actually 0 plus 2. I have 2, 3. So it is actually 0 plus 5 to get 5. Okay. For note 4, we have 0 plus 4. So we also have 5 plus 5. So this is 4. This is 10, but we chose 10 because 10 is maximum. So I think with this, we are good to go. So let's look at the, I hope I understand this. Okay, let's look at the latest completion time. Okay, the latest completion time, a quick one. So, okay, you start from the ending node. Okay, you start from the ending node. Okay. Now, take note of this. You start from the ending node. Okay, this is the backward pass. This is the backward pass. Okay. Note, very important. Note, for the last node, LCT is always equal to the EST. So now let's go back. So let's go back to this. So this is EST. So you know we are starting is backward. This is forward. We did 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you understand? So now this is backward. Take it from 9, 8, 7. So now let's go there. So for the last node, the earliest starting time is always equal to the word, the latest completion time. So they are equal. This becomes 28. Okay, that becomes 28. For node 8, if I want to get this part, it will be 28 minus 8. So that gives me 20. Take note too, if there are any other arrow that point to 8, I will have to consider the minimum value. So 28 minus 8, I have 20. Then I'm going to node, I'm going to what class? I'm going to node 7. Very important, Lou. It's very, very important you take note of this. If I'm going to node 7, where is node 7? It's 9 to 7 now. So that will be 28. Okay, 28 minus 12. 28 minus 12. That gives me 16. So I have 16 here. 28 minus 12 give me 16. We are going backward. Now I'm going to going to node 6. Node 6, where's node 6? Node 6. From this LCC that is equal to, if one, from this LCT that is equal to EST, if one get EST wrong, it means say that LCT will be wrong too. Now sure bank now. Once this is wrong, this is also will be wrong. Thank you very much. So I'm going to node 6. Take note of that, node 6. I'll now ask myself, how many arrows lead to node 6? Okay, this is node 6, Abi. Okay, we have 6 to 8, 9 to, okay, 6 to 8, 6 to 9. It's just 2 arrows. Is there another arrow that leads to node 6? Backward. So 20 minus 4 gives 16. Okay, but 28 minus 3 gives 25. Which one is the least? 16. So I'll pick 16. Then I'm going to node 5. I go to node 5, backward, node 5. Node 5. Where is my node 5? This is node 5. Okay, node 5 is just from here to this place. So it will be 20 minus 5. 20 minus 5 is 15. So that is 15. I go to node 4. Node 4. Where is node 4? Node 4. How many arrow point to node 4 backward? How many arrow point to node 4 backward? 7 point to 4. 6 point to 4. Okay, 6 point to 4. Okay, backward. So we have 16 minus 2 is 14. 16 minus 2 is 14. So note that. However, 16 minus 6 is 10. 10 and 14, which one is least? 10. So I pick my 10. Let's go there. The next one, I go to node 3. Node 3. How many arrow point to node 3 backward? Just 1. So this will be 16 minus 3. Okay, take note of that. 16 minus 3 is 13. How many arrows are pointing to 3? So that we can take a very close look at that before, so that we don't make any mistake. Okay, let's quickly take a look at that. We have, okay, class, but okay, this is pointing to 3 backward. 16 minus 3 is 13. Let's note that. But 10 minus 5, this 10 minus 5 is 5. So 5 is lesser than what? 13. Just 2 arrows. Thank you, Ibukun. So 10 minus 5 is 5. 10 minus 5 is 5. Node 2. How many arrow point to node 2? Node 2. This is node 2. How many arrow point to node 2? This one point to node 2. This one point to node 2. Oh yeah, 16 minus 13. 16 minus 3 is 13. Hold on. 15 minus 7 is 8. 8 is lesser. So write 8. So this is 8. Please, I hope you are paying attention. This is 8. Okay. The last but not the least. Okay, I think that's all, I mean. That's all. But before we go there, let's go there. We want to find this one. Okay. Then, how many arrow points towards this? Arrow that points towards this. Okay. We have how many arrow points towards this? So 8 minus 2 is 6. Hold on to 6. So 5 minus 5 is 0. Hold on to 0. Then 10 minus 4 is 6. So 0 is least. So you can see this is what? 0. So now, this, you now want to discover, you now want to know your what? Critical part. The critical part is actually where, yeah, let me now give it to you. Let me give it to you. Okay. Man. Okay. Let me give give you the formula for this. Is equals to minimum of J into LCJ minus DIJ. So for node 8, for node 9, okay, I told you node 9 LCT is equals to EST, which is 28. Okay, for node 8, how did I get it? LC of 9 minus D from arrow pointing from 8 to 9. So we have 28, sorry, we have 28 minus 8. That's how we got 20 in case you're doing your division. Then for node 7, how do we get node 7? Node 7, we said we have arrow from 9. So LC9 minus arrow that is pointing from 7 to 9. So we have 28 minus 12, we have 16. So you can take it over. I just wanted to drop that for you. Okay, so now, hence, critical parts. Hence, critical parts. Critical parts is where the earliest starting time is equals to the latest completion time, okay, of starting point, or where you have the earliest starting time of completion time is equals to the latest completion time of ending time. So, which is also the same thing as, okay, ESJ minus ESI equals to LCJ minus what? LC. Okay, class, my battery, LCI, okay, which is equals to DIG. Let me quickly do this for us. No, so a quick one, please. So this is just it. Forget those formulas, okay? Don't let this confuse you. So how do I know my critical part? Where you have EST equals to, where you have the same number, they have the same number. So from here now, from this part, so come like this, so you can bold in it. Let me use red pen, so you can see. So this is my critical part, you can see. Okay, up to this, you can see, this is my critical part. Okay, from here, so then to this point, you can see, I'm looking at my critical part. You see 10 to 10, 10 to 10, let's go again. Oh, 16 to 16. This is critical part. Critical part, 16 to 16. Critical part, let's go again. Critical part, we have this. So we have this. Let's go again, 20 to 20. This is my another critical part. This is critical part. Okay, then 2 is my critical part. So we have B, D, H, K, B, D, H, K, and N. So class, that is the critical part. Okay, so that's the critical part. Let me, that's what we're using. So the critical part, so we have B, D, BD, H, K, and N. So we have B, D, H, K, and N. So now calculate, add everything together. From B, what's the duration? Duration is 5. Okay, plus 5 plus 6 plus 4 plus 8. Please add everything together. What do you have? This is 10, 10, so it's correct. So that's 28 months. So this is actually the critical part, which gives us 28 months. Any question, please? Any question? Okay, class, in the absence of question, I want to say a very big thank you to you for joining. Thank you very, very much. Like I promise to take this like 2 more classes, and then you are free to say that you understand this thing and you can solve it all by yourself. Okay, thank you, and do have a lovely night rest. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, Temitope. God bless you, Temitope. You're always there.